You have built your dream house spending all the money that you had. 6 months down the lane, in the bedroom, you see moisture is coming out of the wall opposite to the bathroom. And you immediately know that something has gone wrong with the bathroom. Either there is a leakage in the plumbing line or there is water seeping into the tile. But anyway, that is a nightmare for any homeowner. In this episode, we are trying to explain how that happened, how that could have been avoided, and how that can be taken care of now that it has happened. Welcome to AV Tiles and Sanitary Kollam, Kollam's authorized Kajaria dealer in the state of Kerala. So as I told you, this leakage could come from 2 points. One is that there's something wrong with the plumbing line. So the joints were not put correctly, or the pressure which the pipeline is experiencing, the pipes were not built to withstand that pressure. So anything wrong with the plumbing is out of our scope of today's episode. The second point is that it could have been because the tiles were not put on the wall properly. Now, there is a method in which the tiles have to be put, especially in places where there is connection with water. And bathrooms need to be done really carefully so that these kind of problems don't arise. And let's go into the finer details of how this could go wrong, or tiling in the bathroom could go wrong, how it could be done correctly, and now that it has been done, how can we repair it? Let's get into the matter. Now let's understand the first thing, that from where the water could go inside if it is the problem of tiling. Now tiles is a popular belief in Kerala, especially in my place, that people are paranoid about using ceramic tiles. They think that just by putting ceramic tiles on the wall, this surface will absorb water and throw it to the other side of the wall. This is a popular notion here, but that's just a notion. There's nothing can be farther than truth. Because in 100 years, you store water on this glaze, it will never throw one drop of water to the other side. This surface is like a steel. So if you think steel will let water pass, then this glaze will also let the water pass. So you get my point. So then where does the water seep in? In 100% of the cases, the water seeps in from these joints between the tiles. Now these joints between the tiles are necessary. In some places, people like to have a seamless look, and they ask the technician to avoid using this spacer and put directly one tile on top of the other. That is the worst mistake that you can make. You should understand that if you are using tiles, you have to use spacers. These are not separate things. Tiling with spacing is the right way to do the tiling. Now, suppose you have not placed the spacer. In that case, you always have this gap which is open for water to get into. Now, if this wall that you see on my left is 8 feet high, and normally now since we are using 60 by 120 as the standard tiling for the wall, 8 feet is our standard height. Earlier it used to be 7 feet, now it is 8 feet. Now let's say your shower comes at around 7.5 feet, or 7 feet is where your shower comes in. So above 7 feet, there will be no water which will reach above 7 feet in any way. Now below this 7 feet also, the maximum water seepage. Now we are speaking in a scenario where we have not used these spacers and tile are stacked on one on top of the other, and the grouting done is weak. So giving a water a chance to seep into that. And now the water which falls from the shower from 7 feet height, or even if you're using a bucket and mug to take a bath or shower, the water will never seep in from above 60 centimeter height. That's because the gravity of the earth acts on these water droplets so much that this water droplet, before entering into the gap, it will always try to come down. And the gravity stops playing with the water droplets only at the height of, let's say, 60 to 80 centimeters. So any water seepage that will happen only at the 80 centimeter level max. No water will seep into the wall above 80 centimeter. And that's why if you had seen our waterproofing video, we had specifically asked not to apply waterproofing above 60 to 80 centimeters. And that was the reason for it. Because not only is it useless or waste of money to put waterproofing so high, but it also compromises the tile adhesive's capacity to adhere the tile and the wall together. So you get my point. Now let's talk about the 80 centimeter height which we see here. So this is another tile, it's a matte finish tile, and this is 60 centimeters, so this is roughly 80 centimeter height. Now in this 80 centimeter height, 99% of the seepage, it doesn't happen through these joints. It happens through the joints where the floor and the wall meet. So this is the villain. This point, if not grouted properly, it is going to let the water inside, no matter how hard you try, that it doesn't. So as I said, below the 80 centimeter level where the wall or the bathroom walls are susceptible to taking water in, the 99% of the water which is going to go inside are through these joints. Now these joints is where the wall and the floor meet, and the earlier method in which the masons used to put this tile was where they would put the floor tile inside and bring the wall tile on top of it. Now why they did this and how they justified this action was that they used to say that the water droplets which are coming, they will come and fall on the floor tile and through which it will go into the drainer. But that is not the truth. Why? Because in this method the grouting is easy. Like you can do perfect grouting when your wall tile is going inside and the floor tile is going to touch it. In that case you can do a perfect grouting. The other manner in which they used to do earlier, although it sounds very logical, but the problem is that to do grouting in that kind of joint is almost impossible, at least to do it perfectly. Okay, so once that is done, these corners are grouted perfectly and the tile is put perfectly, then there is 0% chance of your bathroom taking in water. There is 0% chance of water leaking into the grout below the tiles. Now the second and the most important part from where this water leakage happens and which people generally overlook is the drainer. So how does the water goes in from the drainer point? Let's try and understand. Let me draw the bathroom floor from you. It's the bird's eye view of a bathroom floor. And when the work is going on, when the building construction work is going on, the bathroom is on the PCC. That is, it is an RCC or PCC. If it's on the first floor, then you have a RCC floor. And if it's on the ground floor, then you have a PCC floor. Now, at the corner of the bathroom, there will be a pipe jetting out of this corner. And this is a very familiar sight. So it's a 4-inch plastic pipe which is jetting out. And there will be multiple ones. There will be another one for the closet. So there will be generally 2 pipes that will be jetting out of the floor if you are using an S-trap, that is a floor mounted toilet. So now you have seen the bird's eye view of the bathroom which looks from the top. Now it is very important to understand that how the tile is laid on the RCC or on PCC. So for that we need to understand, or we need to see a cross section of the floor. Let me draw that for you. Now what we see here is the cross section of the floor. In the cross section of the floor, the base layer, that is layer number 1, will be either RCC or PCC. To briefly explain it, if it is first floor, then it will be RCC, and if it's on the ground floor, it will be a PCC. So RCC is something where the concrete has a steel that goes through it, and PCC is where the steel doesn't go through it. So it is generally done on the ground floor. Now this is the first layer, is the basic, like it is the structure on which any bathroom or any tiling is done. So you cannot do away with this layer. Now the second layer that you see here is a mixture of cement, sand and water. Now from here we get 2 different types of tile laying. One tile laying is where you use the cement grout to attach the tile to the floor or wall, or the other method is where you use tile adhesive to apply the tile either on the floor or on the wall. So it all starts from this layer. So suppose you want to use cement grout to attach tile on the floor or wall, then what you do is you use adequate amount of sand but less amount of cement and very less amount of water, and then once the level is attained, you put cement grout over it and then attach tile over it. Now this is the old orthodox method which is not recommended in today's times. So how do we attach tiles today? What we do is we use adequate amount of sand, we use quite a lot of cement and quite a lot of water. So basically we are turning that combination into a plastering material. So just the way we plaster our walls, which I hope you understand, we use the same mixture to do the floor, and now that is a plastered surface. Now this plastered surface, like the older method, the tiling cannot be done on the same day. So if you are doing a plastered surface, then it needs to be given time to set and to be cured for at least 3 to 5 days. Now after 3 to 5 days, instead of cement grout, you can use tile adhesive. So this layer number 3 that you see here is the tile adhesive. On the same day, at the same time when the tile adhesive is laid, you put tile on top of it. So there you have your floor. Now let's come to our point, which is water leakage from the drainer. So let's find out. In the bird's eye view, you saw the drainer was here on the corner. So in the cross section, let's see where it goes. So in the cross section, this pipe which was jetting out of here, then this is the floor, and your pipe would come right up to here. You see? That drainer pipe that you see goes all the way out through to the RCC. Now this is let's say it's a hypothetical situation, but it's just for you to understand how it works. Now this pipe that you see is jetting out, which is going to take all the water away from your bathroom. It is crossing 4 different layers. Now this is very important. We generally don't think where this pipe comes from and where is it going. It's actually traversing 4 different layers, and this is very important. Why? Because when you originally see this bird's eye view image, the pipe which is jetting out of this base is actually jetting out of this RCC or PCC floor. So which means what you are seeing is this height, and this height has a necessity that it is left so high from the bathroom floor. Now generally the workers who are not so well versed with these technologies, what they do is when they come to work, they'll just cut off this pipe right at this place. So they will cut, let me make a cutting mark, they will cut this pipe off here, and then on top of that they will use cement, sand, water mixture. They'll put cement grout or tile adhesive, whatever, and they'll put tile, and effectively you have no pipe structure there. And on top of this place, this is the place, if I may mark it, this is the place where your drainer has to come. Now if this pipe is not there right until this point, then this drainer will have to throw the water up until here, and it has time to get into the tile adhesive or the cement grout, and it is time to get into the cement, sand and water mixture. So over a period of time, these all 3 layers become saturated with water, and then once these layers are saturated, they start manifesting on the walls of the house, and it comes up until this point. It's only when the water comes or the moisture comes to this point that we realize that something wrong is there in the bathroom. Now let me bring an example, or let me bring a proper pipe and a drainer to further explain what I just did here. So I deliberately did not bring this in the first place because I wanted you to concentrate on the schematics so that you understand better where the pipes are going to. Now this is the pipe. Now you are very familiar. You have seen this in your newly built house. In every bathroom there is 2 pipes jetting out of the floor, one for the drainer and one for the closet. Now we are not concerned about the closet because the plumbers know their work well. So when they put closets, they put it properly. But it's the drainer pipe which people don't usually take care of, and that's where this problem starts. Now let's get into that. Now this is the pipe, and this pipe is supposed to cover all the 4 layers and is supposed to stand up. Now this 4th layer top and whatever pipe is left on top of it, this need to be cut, and this need to be cut very carefully. Why? Because this pipe is only as thick. So it can take the pressure of whatever 4 kilogram or whatever it is built for, but then it cannot take a hammer, which generally the workers do to break this tile or break this pipe. Now let's say this pipe is jetting out, let's say this is around 2 inch which is jetting out, and they need to cut this 2 inch so that this pipe comes at the level of the floor, and once it comes at the level of the floor, you put a drainer on top of it. And while placing the drainer, there are 2 types of drainer which are available in the market. One is this flat back drainer. Now this is not the drainer, it's a cover, but I am saying the same thing which has a protrusion here. Cheaper drainers don't have that protrusion. They look something like this. Now this is a crime. In my opinion, this product should be banned from the market. Nobody should even by mistake should buy these drainers, because this is an absolute recipe for a disaster. Now once you have a protrusion drainer, what you do is you apply M-seal or silicone or any that kind of, or even you can use epoxy adhesive, and then you fix it in the pipe. Now that you have done this and it is at the level of the floor, which is this level, the water has no way but to go down this drain. It has absolutely no way of getting into these 3 layers. And of these 3 layers, the most dangerous layer is the cement, sand and water layer. Why? Because this is where the maximum porosity is, and this absorbs water, and this has a lot of space to absorb water. And once this layer is saturated, only then it starts coming up on the wall of your bedroom. So now I hope you have understood the fundamentals, what to take care of in the bathroom when you are building your house. If you have more queries, or if you still don't understand this, you can always give me a call on my number, and I will be very happy to help you with your bathroom. So with this we conclude this video. It's already been very long. I hope you enjoyed it. I think you should bookmark this video, because this is a perfect video. If you understand well and if you apply it while you are building your house or you're helping a friend or family out, if you share this video with them, it will go a long way in making their bathrooms leak proof. So goodbye for now, and we'll see each other in another episode. Thanks.